Welcome to a ranking video. It's been a while since I've done a ranking video. Today we're going to be ranking all of the side missions in Batman Arkham City. Now, disclaimer, when I mean side missions, I mean the ones that are tied to villains. So we are not going to be putting the ones that are like upgrades, for your weapons. We are not doing those quests. Those aren't counting. We're just doing the side missions that are tied directly to a villain and you stop them at the end. Those are the quests we are doing. So, without further ado, let's get going. The first one we got is Bane and his container tanks, his venom tanks. I will say, this is not a bad side mission. You pretty much got to go hunting for all the tanks, and some of them you can find doing the story mission, some of them you got to go out of your way to find. I think that this is a fine mission. I don't think it's anything too crazy, and then at the end, you get the you get to fight with Bane against the Tiger Guards, and you get the tease of a boss fight, but you don't get anything. I would say maybe like a B. I think a B works fine. And then the reveal that Batman's been playing Bane this whole time. Oh, it's great. I'd say a B. So the way I see this is S is best side mission ever. It's fantastic. A is good. B's okay. C is alright. And then D is not good, and F is the worst. So I would say B. Then we got the Riddler, this piece of garbage. Put him down there. Put him down there. I hate this guy. The Riddler trophies in this are awful. Now, there is some clever ones. Like always. They've always got some really clever hiding spots for the Riddler trophies. And I like that in Arkham City, unlike Arkham Asylum, they actually now have had Riddler. He has set up traps for you. And he has, set up, actually where you go finding them, right? Because in Arkham Asylum, it was very much he's just hid them in these places. But in Arkham City, he's actually set up, mini games and traps for you. I do like that. The problem is, there's way too damn much of them that it just gets to the point where, I feel like in Arkham Asylum, they did it perfect, where there's the right amount of Riddler trophies, there's the right amount of Riddler missions to go and find, I think they did the perfect amount. This one is awful, and Arkham Knight did not fix this. There is way too much. Now, the riddles I like the riddles themselves. If we had kept it where it's the riddles and a couple of Riddler trophies, the really good ones, then this could have been really good. But as it is, man, I can't freaking stand this, and every time I have to go hunting for them, I'm like, oh god, I gotta go do this again. But I will say another thing they did upgrade on from Arkham Asylum is he does have a actual side mission as well where you do Riddler trials. And those trials are fun. I really enjoyed the trials. They're challenging but not super hard, and they do require you to, actually use your brain to think about, okay, how am I going to do this? Well, I can use the remote battering there, and then I got to quickly go across here, and then use the electrical charge over there. They make you think, and it's real fun. I like those. It's the Riddler trophies that I have a problem with. So, even now as I'm talking about it, I guess we'll put him in C, that it's alright, because I do like his trials and the riddles. It's the trophies that are the main problem. Next up, we got Victor Zsasz, him and his phone calls. So you'll hear telephone ringing in Arkham. You answer it. Zsasz tells you a bit about his backstory, which is really good for the people who don't know. And then you have to race against the clock and find a ringing telephone. Sucks that when you're in the middle of fighting, it won't let you pick up the telephone. So sometimes you find the telephone, and then you'll hear thugs go, "Hey, it's Batman!" and they come over to get you, and then now you're locked in a battle and you can't answer the telephone. That's happened to me quite a few times. But I think this is fun. The ending stealth mission is very nerve-wracking because you're trying, not to get these people killed. And I think this did a great job of upping Zaz's kind of creepy factor. He was barely introduced in Arkham Asylum for a little bit, not really delved into too much. This one really went into him as a character, and this is really where I kind of find out about who Victor Zsasz was. And of course, that made me go seek out the comics. So, shouts out, by the way, to Batman Shadow of the Bat. That's a really good comic series. You should all go read it. But yeah, I think a B also works for Zsasz. I think I enjoyed his missions more than I did Bane's, because his missions are a lot more out in the open, where Bane's you have to go hunting for. Zaz's are a bit more out in the open, so I think I'm going to move them up there. Yeah, I think that's good. Then we have Deadshot. I don't care what Suicide Squad says. This is Deadshot. This is Floyd Lawton. So Deadshots are pretty much, he shoots people. He's got a hit list of people, and he shoots them, and you pretty much have to solve, where he come from, why is he shooting these people specifically, all that type of stuff. I think it's a real solid mission. The problem is you can't do it all in succession. Whereas, obviously Riddler trophies, you go hunting for Riddler trophies, that's it. You do one Riddler trial, you can immediately go do the next one. For Bane, like I said, you just gotta go hunting for stuff. Zaz, the telephones pretty much ring non-stop. You just gotta be in the right area. Deadshot, you have to wait for him to kill someone. You have to, you do one, and then you have to wait in the game for a couple minutes before you hear, a gunshot, and then you're like, oh, I guess he went and got someone. That's, I think, a downside to it. I would prefer if you could have just done it in succession. I mean, I guess it adds the real-time aspect of it, but still, the fact you have to wait and can't do it all right away did suck when I tried to do it. But it's fun, finding his cache, and his boss fight's kind of lame, though. Not the best boss fight. I would, again, put it in B. It's good. Nothing special, though. We got the Hush missions. Oh, we can put this in easy A tier at the very least. The Hush missions are awesome. What a beautiful introduction to a character, huh? Introducing you to a character that, again, a lot of people probably did not know. And even though the Hush storyline happened by this point in the comics, the Hush storyline is fantastic. But it's beautiful. You see the mangled corpses of the people who've had bits of their faces taken off. You can do this one in succession, which is, thank God, that makes it so much better. You actually get to see Hush in one of the story missions, which is when you break into the cathedral for the first time and you save all the guards. You can see him there, so that's fun. That it's a little tease that, hey, there he is. This is great, and then the reveal at the very end where you go into the very creepy room with all the medical equipment and the toys, and then you hear Deadshot playing. Not Deadshot. I say Deadshot. Why am I saying Deadshot? Hush plays his creepy tape. They got Kevin Conroy. Kevin Conroy was fantastic as Thomas Elliot. Can I just say that? Oh my God, was he fantastic! It was awesome to hear Kevin Conroy not be Batman and be a crazy evil psychopath. And they should have capitalized it more on Arkham Knight just to hear Kevin be this bad guy. But then the reveal that he's purposely hunted down people so he can graph his face like Bruce Wayne was fantastic. And I remember as a kid, before I played the game and I was watching walkthroughs on YouTube, I was terrified of this guy. And I was wondering, oh my God, what's gonna happen next in the next game, And then we got what we got, and it's a big disappointment. But at the time, you're very hyped for this. And this is a fantastic mission. It also leans into Batman's more detective aspect, which is very good. We need more detective Batman. So yeah, easy A. The Azrael missions are, I think this is C. You just go finding him on rooftops, and then he says a cryptic message, and then he disappears. And then you scan a symbol, and then you go hunting for him again. This is one of the ones that you probably used to cheat for, and probably looked up his locations on the map. Now again, thankfully you can do this in succession, and it is a good introduction to him, because then he's back again in Arkham Knight. Not, I think, in a role we expected him to be. I think we wanted a bit more from Azrael in Arkham Knight, because people were hyping up, oh my God, they're teasing the Gotham's Reckoning is here. Is the Order of St. Dumas going to show up, in the next game? And not really. But for an introduction, it's okay. I think it's fine. It's okay, But I prefer the other side missions over his. The Mad Hatter side mission, I think I'm going to put in C as well, because it's not really a side mission per se. They kind of tease it like a story quest. Alfred will say, "Good news, Master Bruce, we have the cure," and everyone goes and does it. Everyone goes and does it, because you hear that, pops up on the map. It doesn't really have a side mission quality to it. There's nothing that leads up to it, unlike his side mission in Arkham Knight, which has a lead up to. In this one, It's very much just a one and done. You get tricked, and then you have to fight a bunch of enemies wearing a bat rabbit mask or something. Like, it's cool to have the Mad Hatter here, but his quest is just beating up wave upon wave of thugs, So I'll keep it in okay because it's cool to see him here, but the quest itself is not anything right over about. And then the final one we have Nora. We'll put that in the lowest one, I think. It's pretty much Mr. Freeze gives you a location to find Nora, and you go into the location, you beat up a bunch of thugs, you free Nora, you go back to Mr. Freeze and say, I freed Nora, she's at such and such place. So, it's, again, not much. It does have a cool bit, though, that once you do that, Mr. Freeze then will leave an ice trail on the ocean for you. So that is nice. That's a nice little detail they added. But yeah, it's, again, really not much. But it does add a little bit to Mr. Freeze. So I guess that's it. That's my ranking for the Arkham City side missions. It has quite a good amount. Some of them could have been better. Some of them are great. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What is your favorite Arkham side mission in the comments down below? Let me know. And what's your least favorite as well. And I'll see you guys all next time.